Wow, what seems like an age, we have actually got blue sky. And we're able to work on the van. Unbelievable weather we've had recently. Anyway, the time's come to get the nice inlet manifold on. And we're going to reuse this, I think, because this throttle body is calibrated. And we'll reuse all this as well. Got a new throttle body gasket. And obviously I've got this new spacer, which is meant to bring it up. To basically stop heat soak. But I'm a little bit worried about that with it. I mean, it's kind of moving it up, so maybe it won't hit that. I don't know. The only other thing is I'm worried about this is going to be up, and you can just about see it has actually hit this once before. So we will have a go, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So we'll have a little go. Right, let's get started. So I've just tied this up out of the way. I've got access now to bring the inlet manifold out after cracking these nuts along here. Very simple to do, pretty much held on by some bolts there, or this lot. Take it off and unclip everything. So we take this off here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to put some other sort of permanent fix to that, because I'm not happy with that. Why is that gone soft? Right, let's crack these off. That's it all off. You see the old valves in there, all looking good. So yeah, transfer, obviously take this off, put on the other one, take that off because I know that's good. I've got a couple of blanking bits on there I need to take off as well. So I decided to put some JB Weld on there now, so that'll seal it properly. So we've got new gaskets to go on. Put a new gasket on for that, and then we've got the spacer here, which has got two gaskets, which basically sandwich the spacer on top of that. So that's the spacer on. Obviously you've got a gasket against the head, then you've got the spacer, and then another gasket as well. They seem to be using big port gaskets, but that's what it is. It is for a small pool, the one I bought. Just using that anyway. So right, well that's on. Now we can get the nice polished manifold on. So that's the manifold on. So yeah, pretty close on here. Pretty close. Might have to skim that out a bit, maybe. The other thing I noticed that there's not a lot of thread coming through. Just enough to put the nuts on. So they haven't supplied any other threaded part for that. They've just obviously supplied the longer bits for their longer bolts there, but there's no washers. So I'll put some washers on there because I want to fit them without. And then there's the two nuts. Again, could do with a washer on there, but it's very, very close. That's all on. I'm telling you now, this is fucking close onto here. Pretty close, but it does shut. So everything's clipped in. It's literally just a very simple process on bits and pieces. I just need to tighten that up. That's clipped on. That's on. Yeah. A couple of bit of cable ties on there, and that'll be it. So yeah, he's a bit higher than it was. But because I've taken this bit off, which obviously had a bit on, Anyway, we'll see how it goes. If I hear some banging when I accelerate, I know what it is. Let's see how close it is to here. The money I've spent on this inlet manifold though, Jesus Christ. I had it dry iced first of all. Then I was going to fit it, and then I saw some pictures of kart retro rides, a Golf with a 1.8 valve in it, with it all polished out, and I thought, oh, that looks good. Had a little look around, found somewhere local, got it polished up. Here we are. So yeah, just a bit of a different look for this year, really. Just I can't idle hands and all that. So the plan this year is maybe a couple of shows, but I really want to get into Street Weekend. I put an application in. It's been declined on the first round, but I believe there's multiple rounds of people getting in. So that is an event that I want to do. So Street Weekend is basically starts off at Santa Pod. You do a couple of runs at Santa Pod, your best time, you hand it in. Then you drive off to a number of checkpoints. Something up in York, there's one up there. And then I believe we will be coming down to some other places as well, and other checkpoints en route. It's a bit of an adventure. It's something different. I love watching the stuff in America where they have drag week and stuff like that. So didn't really know about this thing. Even though I follow Santa Pod, for some reason I just, on Facebook, this is on Instagram or whatever, for some reason I just didn't hear about it. I never heard about it until a friend of mine, Roman, started posting some pictures up a while ago. And I was like, what's all this about? And he went, oh, Street Weekend. And I was like, what? Had no idea about it, which is crazy in this day and age. But I just didn't sort of see the post. It's the trouble with Facebook these days. You just seem to get tons of other rubbish, but the pages that you follow and you want to hear stuff from generally gets pushed down the list unless you scroll in there for hours. But anyway, I didn't hear about it. Now I do, and we've put some entries in, and I believe my mate Roman hasn't even got in there yet, so he's saying we just wait for the next round and hopefully we get in. I believe my friend AD in his Renault is got in, so that'd be cool. Be a friendly face, obviously new, he hasn't done it before from what I understand, so that'd be pretty cool. Maybe there'll be a few other guys that I know, but yeah, that's the plan for this year. The van's going great. I haven't really driven it much in this weather, to be honest. Obviously with these tyres I got on the front, it's a little bit dangerous. Not so much like acceleration, but braking. So these are Max Sport RB5s, tarmac rally slick, brilliant in the dry, absolutely brilliant. A lot better than Toyota 888s in my opinion, but wet weather, greasy weather, it's just pointless. And I've had it a few times where obviously this van doesn't have ABS. On some of the Mark 5s and Mark 6s you have the ABS module here with all the pipes going off. We haven't got that on this one, we've just got a big air filter in there. These Escort vans didn't come with ABS as standard, so you hit hard on the anchors and the fronts will lock up, no problem. And I've had it before, I've been going that fast, but I've locked the front up coming up to some traffic lights. Pretty sketchy. Luckily no cars in front of me, but not that great. These are rated to be driven on the road, by the way. They're not illegal, they're not like full slicks or anything like that. But yeah, this sort of condition where it's damp, they're not great to be driving on. And of course it's just wheel spinning every gear. Not much fun. But anyway, that is the plan for this year. Obviously one mod out the way. I've got some bonnet struts that I want to fit as well. Just little things, just things to keep me busy, you know, that's all it is really. I've also bought another one of these scuttle panels. Got a bit of an idea what I want to do on that. Kind of thinking like a knackered duct in the bonnet and scoot it down. I'm also thinking for summer temperatures to fit a maxi F2 bonnet vent. They fit just inside there, and it vents obviously hot air from the turbo out rather than it circulating in a closed bonnet with no vents on. But I don't know whether to do that or not, because then I'm sort of like thinking, if I do accidentally drive it in any wet weather, the rain is going to come straight down all over the turbo and rust all the bolts and bits and pieces, which I don't really want to happen. So we'll see. But yeah, a few little plans in the pipeline, but so far so good. The only thing that I've just bought as well is charging. Obviously, if I go to the street weekends, we're going to be out and about and not really in, and we're not going to go to hotels, we're going to be sleeping in the van or tents, and this is a rubbish charger. So I've got rid of the fag lighter in here, which was probably a silly idea, but back when I fitted this radio back in 2018, I thought I will just fit this. But this plugs into the back of here, and this is a very, very low amp charge. So I bought a new cable, which I need to do something in here. I think I'm going to take this out and just blank this off. I'll blank this off and fit a charge port, and that would be I think it's a 3 amp rather than 1 amp, which takes forever to charge your phone. Right, that's out. That's that cable out, and so I'll just hot glued it in. So I'll just take this out, and I'll fit the other things that I bought. But yeah, it just plugged into the back and in the back of the stereo. But yeah, there's only 1 amp charging, which is rubbish. It'd take forever to charge an iPhone. We have it in the same place, so it's tucked out the way. We remove this, and we cut some bits out and have it fitted in there, so you can just plug your cable in and charge up your phone. So alright, so we've got this out, and I'm going to Dremel this out as much as I can, and I'm going to put the charging ports in here. I'm then going to cut a square out of here, bond this in, and then we use that to fix the charging ports in. So just using the old Dremel to bore that out. This is the little thing I bought. Loads of these on eBay and stuff like that. So it's a 3 amp, so it charge a lot quicker. So there you go. Just a little plate with the USBs in there. So I'll paint that up, and we'll basically glue it all in with some no more nails type stuff, and that'll be ideal. And it's just a simple live and earth. We'll charge up any device now with a 3 amp rather than a 1 amp, which is loads better. So there we go, that's all done, all painted up and bonded in. 2 ports, obviously with passenger and driver, you can charge your phone up. And to be honest, I've only fitted this in the hope that I do get an invitation to get into street weekends, so we can charge stuff on the go. That's really all it is. Anyway, that is about it. Just funny enough, just finished my trophy cabinet. So a long time ago, I used to do schoolboy motocross, so I've got all these pictures in here. This is obviously when I used to do the hill climb racing in a crazy 205 that used to go on 2 wheels quite often. Yeah, lots of trophies and some souvenirs where we had various things go wrong with the bloody thing. Bits get ingested into the engine, cylinder liners shattering and shitting the block up, spark plugs going and whatnot. But yeah, we do have some first place trophies and silverware from all those years ago I used to race. But yeah, mainly we used to do schoolboy motocross for many years, and we got all the trophies in there as well. Lovely. Anyway, we're still waiting for some decent weather, that's the main thing, and we'll be back with the van.